Hi there, this is the second part of the excuse me, little Lacy album that we're doing, only this obviously isn't Lacy. I've changed the papers, and I just want to start by saying I'm really sorry about the confusion and the kind of bittiness of the last video that I did, the first part of this album. It kind of got a bit messy in places, and I'm really sorry about that, but I hope I've looked at it again, and I just hope that you can kind of make sense of it and work through it. I have tried editing it, but I don't know how to edit it without special software and that, which I don't have. But anyway, so we're gonna, and also it ended abruptly, so this is where we're picking up. So this is where we're at so far. We have these, we have the main body of the album, we have these pull-out pages here with the tab, we have, oops, get in there tab, we have the back of this page here, which was the double pockets, and we have this page here. Right, so we're now going to work on this page. Okay, so let me move this out of the way, and this is page 5, and what you're going to need for this is these pieces. Okay, so you're going to need one of these, which is one I didn't write the measurements down on for some reason. But anyway, this is 7 inches by 5 3/4 inches, which is 7 inches by 5 3/4 inches, which is 17.8 by 14.6. Okay. Now let me just check that I'm actually in frame here and that you can see everything I'm doing. Yeah, that's fine. Right, so you're going to need one of those, and you're going to put the longest edge in your scoreboard, and you're going to score in at 1/2 inch and then at 3/4 inch. And then just like before, we're going to fold that, and that gives us that 1/4 inch gusset. So on the bit that you folded under, we're going to need you to put some score tape on it. And because it's a page that opens all the time, I've put some clear packing tape on here as well to cover these two score lines here. Okay, so that's the first piece you're going to need. Now, the second piece you're going to need is 6 7/8 by 4, which is 17.5 by 10.1 centimetres. And you're going to score it, you're going to put it in your scoreboard, the long edge in the scoreboard, and you're going to score down 1/2 inch, turn it round, 1/2 inch down one of the long edges, turn it round again, 1/2 inch on that other short edge, and don't score the other long edge. Okay, then you need to put tape on those as we've done before. This is another set of double pockets. You're going to cut diagonally across the corners, and I have mitered the tops as well, there and there, and then you're going to fold those under. So that's the top large pocket. Okay, now the second pocket that's going to fit on top of there, like that, needs to be done in exactly the same way, only this is 6 7/8 by 2 1/4, and you're going to score 1/2 inch on 2 short edges and 1 long edge, and then you're going to miter those corners there, there and there, and then you're going to put tape and fold it under again, so it's like that. Now this one has a lid as well, but it has a lid that's higher up the page. It comes up to sort of about here. So you're going to do another single piece that is 5 7/8 by 4 3/4, which is 15 by 11.8 centimetres. And again, you're going to put the short edge in your scoreboard, and down one of the long edges you're going to score at 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch. You're going to add your tape. I haven't mitered the corners on here, and then turn it over and add your clear packing tape if you're using it down these score lines, so that when it folds up gives you another 1/4 inch gusset. Okay, so all we need to do now is to put these together. So you're going to have your piece of cardstock that you have scored with your score lines to the left, okay, and then we're going to just add these pieces here. So it's a pretty simple kind of job. So it's as before, you just remove the bottom tape. I like to remove just the bottom bit first so I can see what I'm doing. Then you're going to line this up, and there'll be about 1/8 of an inch gap between this score line here, this one here, and the start of this, and 1/8 of an inch in this one, in this side as well. So, but line it right up at the bottom, leave that sort of 1/8 of an inch gap if you can. Get it as neat and correct as you can, and rub that down and give it a bit of a burnish so you can see it's right, it's completely level with the edge. And then from there I can remove my side piece of tape. You can remove both if you want to. It just depends. Sometimes I do one and sometimes I do both. Right, remove your piece of tape, line that up, and go around the other side. Remove your piece of backing, fold that under and line that up like that, and then give it another burnish. Okay, so that's the bottom pocket for that. Right, now we can add the smaller pocket that goes at the base as well, and also that's going to be completely lined up at the bottom. So again, remove your bottom piece of tape, or all of them if you feel really comfortable with that. I'm going to turn mine sideways so I can do it better, and I'm just going to line this up, line it up there, there and there, completely. Make sure it lines up along the sides. Fold that down, and then I'm going to remove my side pieces of tape. 1 and 2 this time, because they're only little bits. And hold that under and push it down and give it a good burnish. Right, there we go, that's it for those pockets. And now this top piece here that we have folded under and under like that, we're going to line that up with the top of the page like that, and it should line up with the pocket here, because this is going to be closed by adding another tag in the same way that we did the other one. Okay, so we're just going to remove this piece of tape, and to push it up so that it's flat like that, and you've got the other score line on there. And I am just going to line this up with the side and with the top of the page, and just put that down, making sure before I stick it, make sure that it's level all the way around. Mine needs to come over just a little bit. Come on over just a little bit, there we go, and then you can press that down and burnish it. And then when we fold that over and push that up like that, that gives you that flap. And I'm just looking for a spare piece of card or something. So there, this is going to be closed again with one of these tags. Okay, now I have already done this on my album and it didn't film, so that's why I'm doing it like this. But I'm just going to show you what you need to do. So basically, we have the album like this. This is the flap. That's the bottom bit that we had, this piece here. I had to remove the paper, so it's a bit raggedy, but it's fine. And now we are going to attach this. That's this piece. So you won't have this piece on your album at the moment. You have all of this bit, but not this bit. So what you need to do in order to make this is just peel off your tape here and stick that down, making sure that it's level top and bottom, and that your fold line here doesn't go past the edge of this, so that it will close up like that and it's not interfered with in any way. Okay, so this is the piece that we've just made right now. This piece here, which is exactly the same as this, sticks on here like that. Right, and that's page 5. Right, so I can put that aside. This is page 5, and we're now going to work on page 6. And page 6 for us is a waterfall that goes on the back of here. I'll just double check. Yep. That's the waterfall that goes on the, so that's page 5. Page 6 is this waterfall. Right, okay, and basically we have to work on that while we have it in place. There's no other way to do it. You can turn the album over if you prefer to work that way round, which is fine. Now let me just double check which way the waterfall's going on. It's going on this way. So now for the waterfall, you're going to need 4 pieces of the sort of thinner weight card, because it doesn't need to be too big and heavy and that. And you're going to be 6 inches across by 4.5 inches up and down, and you're going to put it with the short side in your scoreboard and score at 1/2 inch on all of them, so that they're all the same like that. Okay, we don't mitre waterfall pieces, so don't worry about that. So this is all you need to do. You're also going to need a piece which is just a waterfall strip, and for me that measures, let's try and pick my ruler up. For me that measures 4 inches by 1.25 inches, and that is 4 inches is 10 centimetres or 10.1 centimetres by 3.2 centimetres, and then I'm just folding under a 1/2 inch at the bottom. Okay, so that's going to strip on. Now we've already done one waterfall, so this one should be quite easy. So what we're going to do is do a dry run first and make sure that this fits perfectly. So there will be about 1/8 of an inch either side, but you're going to take it right up to, this top edge here. Okay, so I've already taken the tape off of mine because I stuck it down without realising what I was doing. So I'm going to use a bit of wet glue on top of my tape as well. And then basically it's just exactly like the other waterfall that we've done before. And that is that we're going to take this, we're going to line it up. I'm going to turn mine sideways so it's easier for me to do. We're going to line it up with the top, and we're going to make sure it's about 1/8 of an inch. We centre it with about 1/8 of an inch either side, maybe a bit less than 1/8 of an inch. And we're going to stick that down. Okay, so that's the first piece. And then we're going to do the same with all the other pieces as well. So I'm adding some glue here. I'm going to make sure this is level down the sides. Like I say, it's the sides that you need to concern yourself with more than anything else really. But if you butt it up to that, yeah, like that, like that. Before you stick it completely down, just make sure that it is straight with your piece above it. Yep. So we can stick that down. There we go. Yep, that's fine. And give that a quick burnish. And then just carry on with all of the others. I'm afraid I've got my window open again today, so you can hear the traffic. The problem is it's still raining and muggy and really horrible here, even though this is the middle of July and therefore the middle of summer. But like I say, it's muggy and there's no air, so unfortunately I'm having to have the window open. So I'm sorry about that. If it gets too busy, I will close it. There we go. Finish that down. Finish that down. Yep, that takes us down to there. That's good. Right, so now we've got all 4 of them on. And I am just going to stick that little waterfall closure piece on. So I'm going to apply some glue. Yuck, a big splodge of glue. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Right, and I am going to centre this up, hook it under there, and guess that that's about the centre. You can measure it, of course, if you want to, which probably I would normally do, but I won't bore you with that today. Right, okay, so that's that. Now, so what we have now is, this is the waterfall that opens out. On the back of it, it's got a double pocket. And now we're going to work on the other side of this piece. Okay, and we are actually quite nearly finished. So that's page 4. This is page 5. This is page 6. This one here is page 7. And there isn't much to do with page 7. All we need to do is there it is. Right, we need another one of these reinforcement strips. Do you remember, like I said to you, I put a reinforcement strip up there? Well, we need... Yeah, reinforcement strip up there. Well, I'm going to put another reinforcement strip down here. And this one needs to be trimmed down a little bit as well. So this one is the same length as the other one, which is 6 and just under a quarter, maybe 6 1/8, which is, in centimetres, it's about 15.7, and the width at the moment is 2.3 or 7/8, but it needs trimming down just a little bit. because it needs to fit in this gap here. So I need to trim off about, let's measure it here. I need to trim off about 1/4 inch, I think. So I might actually put that in my trimmer and see if I can do it like that. So let's see if I can get this in here. So this will need to be in total, let's try and just line that up. Yeah, that's better. So the width on this will need to be 4, 5, nearly 3/4, just slightly under 3/4, which is 10.6. Okay, so we need now just to stick this down to give that some strength. I'm using wet glue just for the speed for the moment. I'm just going to put that in there, press that down and let that dry. Right, now in the actual album, this page is like a plain page and it's only half covered. The other side is for photo, and then we have a flap here that comes across, and that's for another waterfall. Right, so let's just put this aside for the moment while we find the pieces for page, that's page 6, that's page 7, so this will be page 8. Just write page 7 on here. So apart from this here, there is nothing else to do to part page 7. Right, let's move this out of the way for the moment and find the bits for page 7. And it is a small flap. It's not a full flap. It's not that one. It's not that one. It must be this one. Let's have a little look. Hopefully it's this one. I think my page has got a little bit muddled up. Let me have a little check. It says page 7, so let's hope it is. Right. Yeah, the waterfall and the flap. Right, okie doke. There's a few waterfalls in this little folio, but that gives you so many opportunities for different size photos. And that's actually what we want, that's what we want it to hold. That's page 7. Put that aside for the moment. Right, okay, so for page 7 we need one single piece that measures 5 3/4 by 4 1/2, which is 14.6 by 11.4 centimetres. You need to put it in your scoreboard with the short side across the top, and you need to score down the left hand side at 1/2 inch, and then tape it and mitre the corners and then fold it under like that. Okay, and that is going to fit on our page. Let's get this back over again. That's going to fit on our page. Open all this down here, open that out there. This is going to fit on our page like this. Okay, so when it closes over, it doesn't close over the whole way, it just closes over that far. And we're going to put the waterfall on here. Now the question is, am I going to put the waterfall on the back or on the inside? That's just a choice. I mean, the choice is up to you. You can either put your waterfall on the inside here and have that close over like that, so that this is plain and that's plain, or you can put your waterfall on the outside here. I think actually I'm going to put it on the inside so that it's kind of closed over as opposed to opened out. Right, so having this flap now, we're going to turn this so that the fold line, fold and taped, is on the right hand side. Move all of this out of the way, and we're just going to construct another waterfall. So, excuse me for a drink. Excuse me, drinking's thirsty work. So you're going to need 4 pieces that are cut to 4 by 4.5 inches, which is 10.1 by 11.4. And you're going to put them in the scoreboard with the 4.5 inches going across the top and score at 1/2 inch, and apply your tape but don't mitre them and fold them under. That gives you a 4 by 4 piece here, and these are good for Instagram photos if you want to print off of Instagram, because they're usually 4 by 4s. And all we're essentially going to do is construct a waterfall as we have done before, like this, with all the pages going underneath, and a little strip here. And this strip I've made is 3 3/4. I've just made these out of my scraps because as long as they fit to the top one, that's fine. So you can do it as an approximation. But this is 3 3/4 by 1 1/4, which is 9.5 by 3.2, and then I've just folded under, scored and folded under the bottom 1/2 inch, which is going to go under there. Right, let's put the lid on my glue before it all dries up. And here we go. So again, I'm going to turn it sideways just because it's easier for me to do. So we're going to line the first one up. This one's nice and simple because it's the exact size of the piece of card. So make sure it doesn't go, make sure that you can still fold your flap up like that, so you don't go right to the crease, but go go close to it, and you do need to go right to the top. And then apart from that, it's exactly the same as how we've done all the others. Oops. Control my hands today. There we go. So this is the first one. Just to go completely across the top, like that. Open it up. Like I say, I did have a try at trying to speed things up, but I don't know, I just don't understand it. I'm so not technically minded. I can't do it. I can cut a piece off of the top and cut a piece off of the either end. Now I've worked out how to do that, but how to speed it up, you know, because I've only got my phone to work on. I don't have a computer, and yeah, I just haven't been able to do it, so I'm sorry guys, my videos are going to be long ones. But you can always skip through to the next section, you know, you just fast forward it yourself if it's kind of getting on your nerves. Make sure this is still straight, yep. Maybe I shouldn't do such big projects, I don't know. To be fair, if you're putting this together, I mean, this is probably a couple of hours, maybe a weekend project, but certainly no more than that. That's why I like folios, because they're pretty quick as compared to albums. And you don't have to worry about spines and all sorts of things. Right, okay, so I'm going to pop that in the middle, do it by eye, and then I'm going to close this up and stick that down. There we go, that's that waterfall flap there. So the back of this is not going to be covered, it's just going to be plain paper, so we can actually get this one stuck in. And like I say, there's not that far to go now, guys. So, right, let's get this open. We can fold that down to make more room. We can fold that out. And this one now needs to be stuck down to here, like this. Okay, so we can remove the backing tape, or part of it. And we can line this up. You might find it easier to do it from the other side. Peel that off and stick that down. Bone folder. Use a different one. There we go. So that goes onto there like that. Now when we close this up, this will go on the inside like this. This will cover it like that. Okay, right, now we are going to work on the back of these. So we're going to kind of work on here. So I hope I've allowed for this to be stuck down properly again. Let me just double check. Right, that's page 7. Page 7. This is page 5. And that opens out. Page 8, page 9. I'm sorry, I'm just having to kind of go through the one that I've already done for myself. In fact, let me just bring it over here, because it was a while ago that I made this now. Right, so we have page 7, we have this, that's the waterfall, but our waterfall's inside, so our plain page is outside. Like that, and that will go like that. We have this one, and we made this into the flap pocket here so that it didn't keep knocking on the waterfall, because I said that makes that quite difficult to close, and the waterfall's on the inside, whereas on ours the waterfall's on the outside. And now we have that page, which is up there. So we close this up, we lift this up, and here is another page. Oops, can't open it. Here's another page here, which is page 8 and 9. So that is effectively on the back here. Oops, that's not stuck down very well. So that's page, that should be page 8, and page 9 I think we'll put down here, actually. I think we'll put pages 8 and 9 down here so that they fold up and fold up. Right, let's see if that works. It's all because I fiddled about with it because of the, you know, because of the problems with it sort of not closing up properly. But that's the thing about making these sorts of things, is that you can adapt them. you know, you can make them whatever you want them to be. Close that over and close that over. Push that down. Whoops, a bit too far. Right, let's have a look at how this closes up. So that closes to there. That go inside. That closes to there. And that needs to go out there like that. That closes into there. That closes to there. That closes to there. Right, so we have this bit. We have this so far. Flap, 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 flap. Right, okie dokie. So we're going to put one on here. This one. That's 8. This is page 9. And in this album, page 9, it's going to be a plain page. Just pop that in there. Oops, helps to have that page, doesn't it? Page 9 we will have going in here. Okay, so it opens. Hang on, let me just make sure it all fits. Need to be trimmed a little bit. Let me just trim it a tiny bit. I'm going to take about 1/8 of an inch off of it, off of the width. There we go. I'll re-measure it for you in a moment. So page 9 is going to go in here like this. Like this. Make sure that fits over there. Yep. And it has a good gusset on that side, so that will fit there. That's fine. Right. Okay, so page 9 is a flip out page, and it is going to be, you need one piece of cardstock which measures 6 5/8 by 5 3/4. So that is 6 5/8 is 170 by 14.6, and you're going to score down the left hand side. So you've got your largest edge in here. You're going to score down the left hand side at 1/2 inch. Okay, and we are just simply going to pop this in. So we just need to peel off the tape. I'll probably add a little bit of glue for a bit of wiggle. I'm going to put some tape on here. I'll hold this under, and we're going to stick it here just inside this score line, the inner score line here. Make sure it misses, whoops, make sure it misses this top score line as well. Sorry if my head's in the way. There we go. Be straight. There we go. That's better. It's a bit straighter. Right, okay, so inside that we are going to put page 10. This page will just have plain paper on it like that. Okay, but inside here we're going to put page 10, and page 10 is oh, that's the inside pocket. Right, hold on. Let me just look at my other album and see what I did for page 10 on there. Open that flap down. Open that up. I just did Where is it? There it is. I just did a single side pocket. Right, okay, so there it is there. That's this one. So all we need to do here, don't think I burnished that very well. It seems to be popping up. But anyway, burnish it down. Get this open. So for this single side pocket, we're going to do a piece see if it will fit on there. No, it won't. It will definitely fit on there. Right, you're going to need a piece that is 6 3/4 by 3 1/2, which is 17.1 by 8.9, and you're going to need to score as before half an inch along the long side and half an inch on the other short side, and then cut your corners and miter the top. So cut the corners and miter the top. There we go. Let's get rid of these pieces. Right, okay, so we will have this, I think, I mean, we can have it on the inside there, or we can have it on there. No, I think we'll have it on the inside here because we've got a nice gap here. Okay, so let's remove the bottom piece. Similarly, you could have it on this side if you wanted to. Yep, you could do. Let's go for this side just for something different. So I'm going to manipulate this and I'm going to put it here, and we are going to centre this up, taking it right to the outside edge, centre it up. No, it doesn't need centering up, it's simply edge to edge. So just take it, fit it edge to edge all the way around. Okay, like that. I hope you can see that. And then we'll remove these pieces of tape here. Pop that under. And here. I hope, you know, what you're noticing from this is that, you know, you can change the configuration of the pages around. I mean, this is just one way to do it. You can do it any way you want to, really. You can put whatever pages you want, wherever you want them. Because they're all kind of a, you know, a version of, in a sense. Right, let's have a quick look at the time. Right, okay, so that is the last actual page. That closes over there. They're a bit annoying at the moment because we haven't got the sticker bits on. Then that piece closes over there, like that. That closes over there, and that brings us to these pieces. The final two pieces, which is inside the front cover and inside the back cover. So let me close this up out of the way, that holds it all together. And we will do these. Now, inside the front cover is another one of those expanding pockets. And this one has a tie. Maybe we'll do the back cover because it's the simplest at the moment. Let's move that out of the way and pop that up there. Right, so this is the inside back cover, which is page 11. And all you need for this, it's just a simple long pocket here with a long tag that goes in it. So all you need here, because we couldn't make it too, you know, too bulky, otherwise it won't close up properly. So all you need for this is one piece of card which measures 5 by 4 3/8, which is 12.8 by 10.3 centimetres, and you're going to put it in with the shorter edge, the 4 3/8 edge. Let me just double check that I'm talking about. Yeah, that's the 4 3/8 edge, goes in the top of your score board, and you score down 1/2 inch, turn it, 1/2 inch, turn it, 1/2 inch, and not that end because that's the pocket. And just like we've done all of our other pockets before, we miter the corners, we miter the top edge. I'm peeling off my bottom piece here, and we're going to stick this as close to this side as we can get it. What we don't want is where that first score line is there, that score line at 1/2 inch, we don't want this to go over that score line because that's where this folds. Okay, so let me line this up at the bottom as close to this edge as possible. A bit fiddly. Let me try and get it done with the side first. There we go. Okay, yeah, sorry. So actually, I've spoken a load of rubbish there. We don't want this to go further than this piece here, okay? Because that will interfere with how this folds. Right, and then we just take off the 2 edges. 1 and doesn't want to come off. 1 and 2. Close it up. So this is as close to this edge as we can. Now, if we were going to add magnets, we would need to add magnets kind of about now, so that we put them on here and on the inside of this, which the pocket will cover. But I'm not going to add magnets on this one. I'm going to do a tie on this one. Okay, so that's going to come across there, that's going to tie to there, like that. Okay, right, so that's that pocket. Now, the only thing remaining to do is this expanding pocket here. Excuse me. Now, as you remember, we've done one of these before. We did it in the middle here. This one, but this is going to be a bigger one that we're going to use on this side here. So your last but one thing to cut, and we're going to, this is the only one that we're going to do the tie with. Now let me just show you. I'm just going to close this up, close that up. This is the tie closure we're going to use for this pocket, and this is the only one in the book now. I did loads of them, but they're kind of too bulky, so they get in the way. So this is why I'm going to use the Velcro on this. Okay, so you're going to need, let's take these pieces of patterned paper off. I need that back. Right, okay, so for the bottom of the pocket, you're going to need a piece which is, I've done it in centimetres, I haven't done it in inches, how crazy. You're going to need a piece that is 6 inches by 5 3/4 inches, and that is 14 centimetres by 15.3. And you're going to put it in your scoreboard like this. Let me move this out of the way for the moment. We can always bring it back. And you're going to put it in your scoreboard with the 6 inch across the top. and you're going to score 1/2 inch down the right hand, you know, down one of the sides like that. Okay, you don't need to reinforce it along the bottom or anything. Okay, so for the lid you're going to need a piece which is 5 3/4 by 3 inches, which is 14 by 7.6, and this one you're going to score at 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch, and I have mitered the corners on this. Okay, and also I have taped this edge here just for an added bit of strength. You're going to need 2 thinner pieces of card which measure 5 1/4 by 1 1/2, which is 13.3 by 3.8, and you're going to score at every 3/8 inch. That makes 3 score lines, and that's at 0.9 centimeters. And then you're going to concertina fold it the way that we did with the other one. So the first one will go up, and you reinforce that, and the next one goes down like that, and the next one goes up like that. Make sure that your creases are nice and sharp on this. There we go. And we need to construct it exactly the same way that we did with the one before. So we are going to get our pieces like this. We want the one. If you have a look at it, you'll see that you've got it's this shape, and you've got one peak in the middle. If you turn it over, you've got one gap in the middle, and we don't really want that. So we want the one peak that helps as a divider, and we're going to stick that down here like this, and you stick it level with the top edge, and there's a 1/4 inch gap at the bottom before it comes in contact with that fold. So for this I'm just going to use my wet glue, but you can use tape or whatever you want to do. So that is one side facing inwards. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. There we go, like that. And we will give that a good press down and burnish. Remove any little bits of glue. There we go. And turn it round, well, I turn it round, and do the other side the same. So glue across this bit here. Glue across this bit here. Stick it level with the top edge. Oh, that's nice. A little bit of sun has come out. Haven't seen that in a long time. Goodness knows what happened to this summer. It's utterly dreadful here at the moment. Utterly dreadful. All right, give that a good press down. And then we're going to add this to our album. So we want that flap, this one here, and we're going to stick it right over to this edge here because there'll be a plain piece of paper there. Okay, so we need to remove the bottom piece of tape. No, first of all, hold on, let me see. Yeah, we can just about do that. Right, okay, so on the bottom you can fold the flap up and it will just catch the tops, just that little bit there of these sides, which will help us get it nice and straight. So if you just put a little bit of glue here, here, and here, like that, and we just push this up and this up. Just hold it there for a second till the glue catches. Yeah, we won't put the lid on it. We'll put the lid on the back of the actual pocket, on the actual page. That gives us more room. So just hold that for a moment. Okie dokie, I think that's set up. So I'm going to remove the tape. Add some glue to these sides. A little squidging along the bottom just so as I can remove it if I need to. Up the sides. Here and here. And then we're just going to hold this together like this and place this down right on the outside edge and right on the bottom edge, not leaving any gap at all really. There we go, like that. Give that a good squash down there. And there. Perfect. So that gives us a really nice roomy pocket in there. And then we're just going to add the lid. Just take that off. Don't forget this has the 2 score lines, so that gives us a little bit of a gusset. So take it up to the first score line. I'm going to turn this round so I can see what I'm doing. And you just stick this really close to the top, well, sort of at the top. Like that. And overlapping that pocket. Bone folder. Right, I have just got time to show you how to make these, but I can't add it because I need to add the paper first. But I'll show you how to do these circle things. Now I have cut out, my pocket is going to go like this, sort of like that, and I'm going to put some paper lace along the bottom. Before I used real lace, but I'm going to use paper lace on these. And then I've cut out a strip that goes down the side here like this to disguise that bit. Okay, so that's kind of how it's going to go. But we also need some closures, some of these tie closures. So what you need to do is, let's take these bits of paper off for the moment. Move that out of the way. I have cut 1-inch circles with a punch, and I'm going to, before I doubled them up, which you can do, that's fine. So stick 2 together like that, and then add your patterned paper on the top, like that. And then you need to punch a hole in the middle all the way through, which we're going to fix with a brad. So the brad and that will fix to the paper, before we, and then you open the brad out on the back before we stick this down to the envelope lid. Okay, so if you get these ready, this will be fine. I think I might stick 2 together, so I'm going to punch out another 2 of these craft card circles. So you just stick them together like this, I'm sure you know how to stick circles together. Like that. And then on top of that we're going to add a piece of our pattern paper, a piece of our designer paper. So that's that, like that, nicely lined up. And then all we do is when we fix them with the brads, then we wind the string around, so it winds around like this. And then I'm going to get my cutter, which is this one. It's pretty old and a bit temperamental actually, so it will work if it feels like it. There we go, get that out. And I am just going to judge where the centre is. Let me put a pencil mark. I think the centre is probably about there. It doesn't matter too much if you're slightly out. Lid on glue. Okay, and I'm just going to centre this up. Like that. Oh gosh, that's so tight. There we are. I'm going to do the same for the other one. That's not very central, is it? But never mind, it will be fine. Take off this. It peels very easily. There, so it's not very central, but never mind. And then I'm just going to put a brad through there, which will also go through my patterned paper, like that. Open out the other side of this, and then we can stick this down. Okay, right, so that's about it for the album construction. So let me just go through this. That's our new pocket. That flaps down to there. These reinforcement bits are really great actually, because they enable it to remain square and not put too much pressure on it. So then we have that. We've got plenty of room in here for photos and ephemera and all sorts of things, because these sides will expand. They'll go sort of flat. You know, you can have it right up to here, right out to here if you want, or you can have it as tight as you want. Yeah, so I'm going to add some ribbon here, which I'll attach here, and I will attach it to here and keep it loose here so that I can just tie it. So yeah, when we open the front page, here we have a big expanding pocket. When we open the back, we have a tag pocket here that's going to have big tall tags in it. Our first page is closed with this and opens out like that to 4 photo panels, and also will open this way to 2 photo panels here, and that way to 2 photo panels here. So that's 2, 4, and the 4 in the middle is 8, and at least 1 on here, which is 9 photos that will take just on there. I mean, you can put a photo on the front as well if you want to, instead of designer paper. So that alone is 9 photos. This will hold probably 5, probably maybe even more than that. And this, I was thinking you could put a long tag in here which introduces the theme of the book. You could write something on there. Then that opens up and you have a waterfall, which will take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 photos on here. And this is also a belly band. So the piece that you're going to need for this is a belly band booklet. In fact, you need 2 booklets to do this. The first one, this is my belly band booklet that I'm going to do, and I've made this 5 by 10, and then simply scored it down the middle of the 10, folded it in half to make it 5 by 5. So that's 12.6 by 25.4 centimetres. Fold it in half along the 25.4, and this will fit in your belly band and stick out decoratively either side, because that will be covered with some lovely paper like that. And then you have another, so besides the 8 photo opportunities you have here, you also have another 1, 2, 3 on here. So that's 11 photos just on there, on that one alone. So that goes in there. That's your reinforced strip. This here is your pocket, and you can put several, at least 3 larger ones in here and smaller ones in here. Let's just pop that in there to remind me. They're all fussy cuts. Then we open this down, and we have another one of these expandable pockets, but slightly lower, and you can put a piece on here where you can write something. As I say, this will take at least 4 or 5, well, a good 5 I'd say, photos or whatever you want to put in it, bits of ephemera, whatever. Then it opens down to this, and this is another 8 waterfall, bigger ones. The 6 by 4 photos will fit on here. Then that in turn opens out, and you have this pocket closure, and that's going to be closed with a tag. Tag. See, this is the long tab that will go in there, but this will be closed by a tag or several tags, whatever you want in there, and it's a double pocket. Then you open out, and this will be plain for a photo here. Then you open this out, and you have another 8 waterfall here. Or I think it's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, another 8 waterfall here. Then you have this page, which will be plain for a nice photo. Then when you open that up, you have a side pocket here for more photos, and you have this pocket, and you have this is going to be plain for some more photos. And then you close it up, flap, 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 bring this bottom one up, the top one down, the side one in, and this side one over the top, and tie it all together. And there we have our little, well, I'm calling it Lacy Folio, but it's not lacy, obviously. This is the butterfly version of the Lacy Folio. I will be back with a walkthrough of, rather than telling you how exactly to cut the papers, etc., because you can cut them however you want. I will be back with a walkthrough to show you on this one here what I've done with the papers and the tie when I've sorted it out, when I've done it, which hopefully won't be too long. I'm going to be doing it this afternoon. It's just about uploading it. Right, okay, so I hope you like this. It is a lovely little folio. It's really comfortable to hold. Another thing I was thinking about was if you made this in travel papers, you could make this as a really nice little travel folio, nice little travel wallet for your holidays, if you're having a holiday. Anyway, okay, well, thank you for sticking with me through this. I'm really, really sorry about the, you know, the kind of mess ups that I did in the first part of this video. I don't know what happened. I just kind of got a little bit overwhelmed with it, I think. But this second part, I hope you found, you know, I hope you've been able to find that you can follow the whole thing, even so. And I will be back with you shortly with just another walkthrough about how this one's been decorated. Okay, thank you so much for spending your time watching my video, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care. Bye.